Hello, everyone, and welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. We've got 4 great decks for you here today. One from Glenn Jones, the guy who designs the cards in Marvel Snap. We've got a deck from the best deck builder in the history of the game. We've got an exclusive top 5 deck all the way from France. And we've got the best Sasquatch deck I've played thus far. But before we do any of that stuff, want to tell you we're giving away 5 season passes starting this video. This is Wednesday's video, Thursday's video, Friday's video, Saturday's video, Sunday's video. Each day there will be a season pass for the new season, for the Gilgamesh season. In the comments, all you have to do is comment. I'll tell you what to comment before the end of this video. So make sure you keep watching. I'm going to ask you to do something. I'm going to ask you to try something, say something, answer something. You do that, you are entered to win one of the 5 season passes we're giving away. We will give them away next Tuesday or so you'll be able to get them right as the season turns over. Hopefully you win a season pass from us. In addition, if you'd like gameplay from these decks, welcome to the stream team. Thanks to Power On Gaming today, GamingwithFlashX, the great GamingwithFlashX, my only loss of the Snap Judgments League. I went 3-1 in Swiss. We'll be playing these decks on stream at 5 p.m. Eastern. If you can make it, great. If you can't make it, tomorrow morning on Flash's YouTube, same name, GamingwithFlashX, you can watch these decks. Prashaun did the same thing for yesterday's videos. Zal is doing the same thing for tomorrow's. So make sure you check them out. Great content for you. Our first deck is W Control. I had a lot of success with this. I ended up with a 60% win rate. I'm about top 500 infinite. I was top 400 infinite, and I tried a Sasquatch deck that Geo sent me, and I could not make it work, and I kept getting suckered into staying, and I lost 1 billion cubes and fell to 600, so I climbed back into about top 500. W's Sarah control list was one of the lists I used to originally climb. This answers the whole frickin' meta. I'll tell you one and only one deck that I don't love it against, Hela. Absolutely everything else it beats the crap out of, so be careful in the Hela matches. But outside of those Hela matches, you put a lot of power all over the board and the opponents will have trouble. All right, you can find W at twitter.com/ W_MarvelSnap. W is the best deck builder in the history of the game. Every time we talk about W, I tell you, he's shaking up the meta no less than 4 distinct times. If you want to know what those 4 distinct times are, ask. I've repeated it so many times. But W shook up the meta by creating decks that completely changed Marvel Snap. 4 distinct occasions. One of the best deck builders, so we always need to pay attention when W releases a deck, because you never know when the next time that he destroys the meta is going to be. All right, Werewolf, Gladiator, and Red Guardian are all replaceable. I actually want to talk about this before we talk about replacements. All right, Gladiator is really good, but dangerous against Hela. So be careful playing Gladiator if you think your opponent is on Hela. All good? Outside of that, Gladiator is the best easy stats on 3, and there's not really much you can do to replace that. Red Guardian is a really good tech card. It answers cards like Angela that are hard to answer, but Shadow King does a lot of that work for you. Werewolf isn't all over the meta. Red Guardian is a nice proactive play, but Rogue will be able to do a lot of the same work. And finally, Werewolf only has certain lines where he really matters in this deck. So let's say you play Werewolf on 3, Gladiator on 4, right? You've now got a 3/3, Sarah on 5, you didn't move it, and then you play, let's say you play 3 or 4. You've got like a 3/11, which isn't nothing, right? But sometimes you just play Doom, or Doom and Maximus, and now you went 3/7. Right? And you just did a lot of work for a 3/7. All right. Ms. Marvel, Rogue, Nocturne, Polaris, Sage, and Juggernaut are potential replacements for these cards. I am partial to, if I were replacing the 3 of them and had access, Ms. Marvel and Juggernaut would be where I'd go, and I think Rogue is very likely the only Red Guardian change. Valentina can be Cable or White Widow. If you're adding White Widow, I'd suggest adding Sage. They're a really nice combo. But Valentina is really good here because you don't always have things you want to do on turn 4, and she gives you something to do on turn 4. Cable can be really good in the Hela meta, though. We learned that earlier when Mill was everywhere, in that, sometimes you just steal their damn Hela. All right, so turn 1 you pass because you don't run any ones. Turn 2 is Valentina over Medusa. Turn 3, Werewolf over Gladiator, and you Red Guardian when it makes sense to, when there's a nice clear target. Turn 4 is usually another 3, and that's usually when I would Red Guardian if I was able to grab priority, or if I think I can predict where an important play will be. Sometimes turn 4 is a Valentina card, and once in a while, turn 4 is either a tempo or a get rid of an important ability, Enchantress. Turn 5, Sarah or a control piece. Turn 6, you either go off and play everything you can. You can end up playing a Valentina card for 3, along with Shadow King and Maximus and Medusa, which is a great end of the game, right? Or you can do Shang with the same combination, or you just play Doom and usually Maximus. There's a lot of ways to win this list. It's really, really strong. It's really cool. Mobius is starting to show his face again for Sasquatch. I'm telling you right now, I don't think Mobius is the right answer for Sasquatch. It's fine, right? But, like, it's just going to be teched against. I think the answer for Sasquatch is honestly maybe just Shang, because those decks are leaving you wide open jugs. Also, thus far, and I'm just going to give you... Actually, you know what? Let's save our Sasquatch thoughts for later. Please hit that sub button. We bring you 7 days a week of brand new videos, at least 3 decks a day. You might notice that today is 4 decks. Yesterday was something like 22 decks. So if you like getting the best decks ahead of the meta, if you like exclusive top decks from top players in Marvel Snap, because, hi, most of the top ladder watches us, please make sure you hit that sub button. If you're already subbed, like, comment, watch for as long as you can. It really helps the channel grow, and we appreciate it more than we can put into words. And by we, I totally just mean me. All right, our next deck is Owie's deck. Owie reached out to me. I told you top players just drop us decks sometimes. Owie hit top 4 with this Thor's Werewolf deck. Yeah, you heard that right. Thor's Werewolf. That's wild. The secret synergy here, right, is like the Thors and Werewolf don't always go super, super well together. But if you've got Werewolf down and then, let's say for argument, either Beta Ray or Thor proper, right? And then you Jane, you've now got a stone to play with all your other stuff that you can use to pump up that Werewolf. And when you don't get the Jane on 5, well, you can beast a bunch of things back to hand and still have a really, really powerful Werewolf, and that you could usually play with a Sage to win the damn game. Very, very powerful deck, and this is really impressive. Also, Shadow King and Shang are the 2 answer cards of choice. I think Enchantress is cycling out of the meta. Red Guardian has chased it away. And I think we're into Shadow King, slash Shang land. All right, you can find Owie on youtube.com/ it should be at Owie Marvel Snap. Fair warning, he's a French speaker. Really great player, though. Kind person. Worth knowing. Spider-Ham here can be Korg. People don't run Korg just as a tech card, but it's perfectly fine. It's disruptive. We already have Iceman. That's usually our replacement. Nico can be Falcon. It's the only real replacement I see. It's just a way to get ones back in hand if you need them. Widow can be Medusa. Not as good for this particular list, but perfectly fine. Medusa's still a lot of power. And Sage and Werewolf and Beta Ray Bill are all needed. You cannot play this deck without those 3 cards. Sage is how you have enough power when the deck doesn't really come together and you don't get the hammers. Alright, so again, rank 4. Turn 1, Iceman is your priority. That's better than Ham, which is better than other ones, but passing here is fine if you don't have anything you really want to do. Turn 2, Widow is generally better than 1, and that's your usual priority. Turn 3 is Werewolf, and Werewolf is damn near a snap condition. Werewolf, Thor, and Jane is a snap condition. Sometimes you'll want a Thor and not Werewolf if there's like limited location space to move, or you can tell your opponent's playing your Professor X deck. If so, just drop Thor. Don't stress Werewolf. Your Thor will get big enough to not really have to worry about it. You can also Sage on that Widow. If you went, for example, you have Beast in hand and you went Iceman or Ham is actually perfect for this, right? Because Ham is 1. Ham, Widow, Sage, and then you Beast it back, and that's a really, really good play line. That's going to lead to a lot of power. Turn 4. Beta Ray Bill or Thor, if humanly possible. You want to get those out, especially if you already have Jane in hand. But even so, the threat of their power is really important. If not, you're going to bounce back a bunch of your stuff. Turn 5, same concept, Jane or bounce. And then turn 6, you sort of go off. Play whatever you can, move that Werewolf all over the place. Remember to try not to Shadow King the damn Werewolf. You should be able to win the game. Elektra has extra value because Black Knight is back in the meta. And whenever Black Knight's in the meta, Elektra's so good. Because Black Knight decks don't do an amazing job of grabbing priority, and you usually are able to snipe out a lot of what they're doing. All right. We gave away a season pass, 2 premium mystery variants, and 500 credits 4 times, so 2,000 credits altogether. We have winners for you. Let's talk winners. We've got McKelvey, M80, who won a season pass. LAB, hey LAB, won a premium mystery variant. Spin Cut, a premium mystery variant. Mil Mascaris, 66, great name by the way, 500 credits. Bojack Norseman, who I think has won like 3 times now, 500 credits. Awoken Infinite, who's been commenting a ton, so I'm really happy that they got this win, 500 credits. And JPM0, 500 credits. please know you can still win the other giveaway. In addition, all you have to do is email Snap Judgments, no E after the G in Judgment, Snap Judgments Podcast at Gmail to claim your prize, or hit me up on Twitter or Discord, whatever makes you happy. Find a way to get in touch with me that's not just the comments of this damn video, and I will get you your stuff. And hey, this feels like a good time to tell you what to do in order to win that season pass. There was a premium mystery variant in your shop or in your daily login rewards yesterday. What'd you get? I got a nothing burger of a card. I don't even remember what it was. I was like, oh, great. That's something I'll never play, and moved on, literally mentally erased it. Look up what you got. Let me know what you got in the comments, letting me know, along with whatever other comment you want to make, and tell me if you liked it or not, right? Is how you enter the season pass for today, for this week. All right, next up we have Gnome Sasquatch. This is the best Sasquatch deck I played, bar none. It puts out a stupid amount of power. If it sees either like the junky stuff and Mockingbird, or Mysterio and Mockingbird or Sasquatch, it's putting out so much power. Shanged was back in full force. I got Shanged in the face like 10 times, and it just did not matter. This can struggle with bounce, but Shadow King and Killmonger are really good in that matchup. This is a great deck. It was not having a super hard time beating those Professor X decks because they couldn't really get productive Professor X's off because I was putting so freaking much power everywhere. This was huge. I've heard a lot of, I'm straight up going to say this now, let's talk about Sasquatch very quickly. Sasquatch has not been greatly liked by a lot of the top players today. I went and spoke to a bunch of people. I watched Woody on stream forever, spoke to Cam, spoke to a whole bunch of people, and Sasquatch is, right now, generally people are down on it. No one but I know but Gnome played this list. This list has been nuts. I played this list to like a 65% win rate, something silly like that. Only like 15 games because I didn't have that much time, right? But like, this deck is legit, really good deck. Try it out. I don't think you'll regret it. All right, so you can find Gnome at twitch.tv/Gnome_plays. Gnome is our friend. Gnome is awesome. Check him out. Gnome's going to be a star, by the way. So, like, generally speaking, it's worth checking out people before they're stars. So get it on the ground floor. You won't be sad that you know Gnome now. All right, Scar and Sasquatch are needed. I know they're 2 Series 5 cards, but hopefully you either got Scar last week or January when it was the damn Season Pass card. If you're playing this game and you can afford the Season Pass and you're not buying it, you're just doing yourself a disservice. If you literally cannot afford it, I totally get that. If you're from parts of the world where that is not an option, you're too young, etc., fine. But if you can afford it, you should 100% be buying the Season Pass. It literally always ends up worth it sooner or later. For Call, you can try Crossbones. That is an always thing. And Nico can be Iceman. Nico is way better, but it's not terrible to just have Iceman. It makes the Hood in particular a little bit worse. All right, so turn 1, Hood or pass. Use Squirrel Girl only if you have Killmonger or Mockingbird already. Turn 2, Mysterio. The real reason you don't Squirrel Girl on 1 is because you really want a Mysterio on 2 for Sasquatch or Mockingbird. You would prefer to do it for Sasquatch. If you've done it for Sasquatch, congratulations. You've more or less played around the stupid Mobius. Because you just got a 310, right? Like, at that point, even if you're not getting other things cheaper, you've already dropped a 310. You'll be fine playing on curve the rest of the game. If you go Sasquatch on 3, Call on 4, Mockingbird on 5, and then Scar on 6, you still put out so much power that opponents are going to have a really hard time keeping up. Turn 3, Sasquatch or Mockingbird, if humanly possible. It's also possible that you start to do some of your destroy stuff on turn 3, especially if you already know you have Death and they've played a bunch of 1s and you've got Killmonger. It's perfectly fine. Mysterio is, again, also fine on turn 2, especially, again, if you've now drawn Sasquatch or Mockingbird. If you don't have Sasquatch or Mockingbird on 2, sorry, if you don't, you're by 2, you're playing one of the 1s on turn 2. Turn 4, you can either start destroying stuff, you can drop Mockingbird if you already dropped Sasquatch, or vice versa, or you can drop Cull. Turn 5, you do the same basic thing as turn 4, and again, if you had to just drop a cold Mockingbird, there's worse things than a 5/9, and then turn 6 is Death, Scar, and stuff. Scar is free a lot in this list. This is the best list I've ever played at getting Scar straight up free. So if Scar is free, you can Scar. I had a game against a bounce deck where I played Scar, Shadow King, and Death at the end of the game, and like, spoiler, I won. This list is legit. It's just so much more. Even if you can get Scar down to 4, by the way, Scar and Shadow King is enough to win a lot of really tough matchups. All right, it is time for our custom card challenge. Every Wednesday, we do a custom card challenge where our friends on Drewberry's Discord, Drewberry quit Snap, breaks my heart. He did a video explaining why. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but we're going to miss Drewberry. Props to Drewberry, our friend who's given us a space for our custom card content. But Drewberry, custom card challenge is here. It's still happening on his Discord. It was last week. It was content creators, so I picked 3 winners. I did not want to pick myself, but I absolutely love this. I want this card. This is the artist, and this is my Marvel Snap card. It looks like I have muscles. I do not have muscles. I don't know if you know that, dear friends. I sit like this, but our friend Cables, I believe, made this for me. I don't like the art's fine, but like what really got the win was this is a 3/3. On reveal, create a deck using 3 cards from each deck and the deck builder. Both players draw the new deck. I love that idea. If the deck builder were like slightly better, I would want this in the game. I would want this as a freaking mode in the game. You each build a deck. The deck builder pulls 3 cards from each and then builds something, and then you both draw from it. That's amazing. So, like, there's ways to abuse it, though, if you just wanted to win, right? This would be good with Loki and Quinjet, obviously. Enchantress and Ongoing Hate seem really, really strong here because it's an ongoing that both players draw from the new deck. If you get rid of that ongoing, you're drawing from your original deck. And Surfer loves this because it's a 3, and, like, if you've got 3 threes, if you've got a deck of all 3s with this, you're probably going to draw some more 3s, and your opponent might not want to be drawing 3s. This is probably too good to make, but I don't care. This is really cool. So a huge, huge, huge prop to the artist, who is, without any disrespect meant, I think the single best person I know at making custom cards. Our next winner is Boombot. Hey, Boombot, I'm proud of you. Boombot has, I don't believe, participated in one of these before. Boombot made Alex Ender Kochia. I love Alex. Alex is like the nicest guy in the world. Whenever I reach out about anything, Alex is always super, super helpful. Alex has on reveal, he's a 3/3, create a cozy card at another location with power equal to this card. One of them gains or loses power, the other one does too. So Surfer and Blue Marvel seem to work here, along with a ton of locations. Cerebro 3, this seems super fun. It's probably too good, right? Like, because you're keeping the power, but like this isn't, maybe it should be a 3/2, but this isn't like that much better than Brood, right? It's better than Brood. It's not like that much better than Brood. I think this is really cool. This one would make me happy, and it has the potential of screwing you up, right? Because it's popping up at a random location. And the like art of each of them, it's beautiful. Props to Boombot. Our last winner is DJ Defrostman, who got our friend, the Pirate King, Tuccrr. Tuccrr has, when this card starts in your deck, add 3 followers. Ongoing, when all 3 followers in play, Tuccrr gets Twitch Partner and gains plus 10 power. So this is like a Thor's card, right? The Pirate King is also a Thor. If you play the Hammer, you're going to get all 3 zeros, and then all of a sudden you have an amazing 3 zeros to play with your Hit Monkey, and that's just like backbreakingly powerful. And Twitch followers are just O1s, little O1s, nothing fancy, but I love this. This is so cool. And, you know, if you've been watching for any amount of time, you know Tuccrr is one of my closest friends in the community, and I love the Pirate King too. So this is my last favorite of these, my last pick for this week. Tuccrr is even the only card that got some variants. We have Tucker's little piece of art here, and we have Tuccrr looking very silly and adorable with a Snap eye patch. So huge props to these wonderful winners. And next week's challenge, we have Pride as our theme. It's Pride Month as of next week, and we are doing Pride as our theme. And guess what? For Pride, is 6/1 the right date? That feels wrong. It's next Monday. Whenever the hell next Monday is when this ends. I thought Monday was 6/1, but I think Monday might be like 6/2, 6/3, whatever date Monday is. And because it's Pride, the only thing we can do with Pride is choice. So that's what we're gonna do. Pride is our theme, and choice is our keyword. What does Pride mean? I believe you can figure it out. Happy Pride Month to my friends who celebrate. If you'd like to participate, please join Drewberry's Discord. You can find that in the description to this video and every other video we do here on the channel. And if you want to make your own custom cards, whether here or elsewhere, snaptracker.me/custom. Our last deck, I have lost count. This might be our last deck. This also might not be our last deck. I think this is our last deck. Glenn Jones hit infinite with this deck. It's called Blackpink. It is another Scar list. And it's a Scar Black Knight list, so if you happen to open last week, hey, guess what? This is also a Blink list. Blink is actually really solid here. Blink has a really solid potential along with Jubilee, even if you don't get Black Knight, to get an extra couple 10s in play. And if you get an extra couple 10s in play, then you have a 2-cost Scar. And if you have a 2-cost Scar, you usually win. It's basically the logic here. If you can cheat out a Magneto, whatever else, you're pretty damn happy. You might need Black Knight to do that fairly consistently, but this is still a pretty cool list. I'm going to be completely honest, I don't think this is a top of the meta list, but it is always, always, always worthwhile to know and pay attention to what the designer of the damn game is playing and doing. So you can find Glenn Jones if you're interested in Glenn Jones content, and you are because you play Marvel Snap, on twitter.com/Glenn_Jones_. You need Black Knight and Blink for this list. You can replace Jeff with Medusa, but I think Jeff is sort of irreplaceable at this point in the game because Professor X might be the game's best card. Scar can kind of be anything: Sandman, She-Hulk, Giganto, Red Hulk. Scar is not important. He's cool in this list, but not an important card. Alright, so it's turn 1, Black Knight. Turn 2, Armor, that Black Knight, or play Blade if you've got a big thing, or you can drop Jeff. Cool. Turn 3, Sif, or some combo of turn 1 and 2. Turn 4, you can still sometimes Sif, especially if you got Black Knight out on like turn 3, but usually it's Juby or Shard, or you Rider or Big. If you know your opponent doesn't have Shang, and very few decks are running Shang, feel free to Ghost Rider back your thing. If not, you'd rather Shard or Jubilee. Turn 5, if you've got a 4-cost Scar, that's perfectly acceptable to play at this point. If you play Jubilee or Ghost Rider, you would very much like to Blink, and if you don't have any of that stuff, Vision is a perfectly acceptable play. Turn 6, Mags, or Scar Plus, or just you can play Blink. Once in a while, you just end up blinking on turn 6, and it's perfectly fine, because you know what's left in your deck. This is a deck tracker deck and a half, though. This is really, really cool and powerful, but I don't think it's meta. Again, worth knowing what the great Glenn Jones is playing. Hi, Glenn. All right, we're going to end today, as we do every day, with questions of the day. We got some good ones. Dave asked what percentage of players hit Infinite. So there was a point where it was like less than 1% earlier on. They won't tell us. But I think it's 5 to 10 times as many. I would guess something between like 7 and 10% of players hit Infinite. I could be wrong. I've asked internally, and they are not going to tell me. So they don't want to tell anyone. They think that it's better for the game if people don't have the answer to that question. And, you know, it's their game, so if they don't want to tell us, they don't have to. But my working opinion is 7 to 10% of players. Mandatory Burnout wants my opinion on Speed Racer. We're talking specifically about the Wachowskis movie. I love it. It's great. I haven't seen it in like 15 years. I should really watch it again because it was delightful. I also really like the original cartoon. I think Speed Racer is just a really, really underrated, top-notch property. Heretics Lee, who I have so many questions to get through, asks if I prefer mystery variants or these new borders that they're going to give us. I want mystery variants. I still have a hip I want. Every chance at that hip is great. I need that hip abomination. After that, maybe I want borders. I don't know. I keep all my stuff gold borders, so it's not really useful to me. I've got 2 gold rainbow sparkles. I've got Thanos and Loki. I know. I don't know what to tell you. But those are the 2 cards I have gold rainbow sparkles on. I might do something cool with a special border on those cards. I don't know. I don't really care about the borders, honestly. Again, I just keep them gold and I'm happy. Jonathan McFadden asks, what makes Nocturne one of the best cards in the game? Alright. There's a real argument that Jeff is the best card in Marvel Snap right now. Jeff does a great job of being unpredictable, having power wherever, regardless of location, regardless of whatever else. He increases your opponent's variance while giving you more information. Nocturne is not as good as Jeff. Nocturne has the same ability to move and make power really hard to calculate. She can come out early and threaten any location that really benefits your opponent. One of the ways that you snap early in Marvel Snap is based on locations that benefit your deck. Nocturne says if you're going to do that, you're taking a huge risk. Nocturne also says Magic is really, really dangerous because Nocturne has enough power to go in a bunch of decks. And most of the time when you change Nocturne's location, it's not really doing anything pivotal to change the outcome of the game. Once in a while, it's going to lose you a game. Most of the time, sometimes it'll win you a game. That's fairly random. But that moving 5 power has the same ability, more or less, not as good as, but more or less as Jeff, where your opponent has extra things to think about at the end of the game. Can they afford to stay if moving Nocturne to 2 locations wins, and they still have to deal with a card like Cannonball? Works amazingly with cards like Professor X. Where are you going to Professor X if Nocturne is on the board? It's very, very hard for your opponent to know the answer to that question. Same concept as Jeff. This makes Nocturne extremely strong. She is, in my opinion, the single best 3 in the game right now as far as like overall 3s. You can make an argument for Red Guardian. You can make an argument. Ooh, that really it? You can make an argument for Elsa, probably another card or 2 here or there, but I think Nocturne is the single best 3 in the game. She is a high skill cap card that even if you play her skillfully will sometimes lose you games, but the sheer amount of games you win instead with her is just through the roof. She is basically turn 3 vision. I genuinely, and vision's in an insane amount of decks. If you'd like your questions read in tomorrow's video, please leave some in the comments. Oh wait, before we go further, tomorrow's video is going to have so much about Sasquatch, like mentally prepare yourself. I'm also going to try and find some Infinity Conquest decks. I have not had a chance yet, but I will by tomorrow. Alright, certain tiers of support on our Patreon come with on-air thanks, so please, if you're willing to, check out the Patreon at patreon.com/snapjudgments. Even if you just join for free, every once in a while we toss a freebie out at you, so there's no downside. And then if you see something we're doing that you like, something that you want, like for example, the $5 and $10 tiers have an exclusive video. I had Lambie do an exclusive video for the Patreons. So like if that sounded interesting to you and you were on the free tier, you would see that and be able to bump up just for the month and then bump back down. So if you're interested, please check that out. I think you'll like it. All right, I want to say thank you to Abigail Gieslin, one of the OGs. Mandatory Burnout, yes sir. Cables, who made that cool custom card of me, like the art. David G. Wingfield, hey David. Direwolf, hello. LAB, who just won something. Always happy when kind people win things. The great FaThorNewman, check him out on YouTube. Good Dog Gamer, who asked a question yesterday. This is the way, all the way from Scotland. Ink, who I haven't heard from in forever, but thank you for the support, Ink. Jay Nevereat, hope you're doing well. J.D. McDonaldinho, who I stopped by and watched troll Lambie earlier. The great Kertixley, king of questions. Koirei, all the way from Japan. Pi Roforos, who is an awesome person, does great miniatures. The Goat Seeker, who just played me in Snap Judgments, the last round of the Snap Judgments League Swiss this month. And then Denman Falcon, who you should check out on YouTube. You've also got Doku, hey Doku. Ginger Prime, one of our newer friends. Philip Ratkovich, top 1,000 player, awesome person. Haplo, hi Haplo. Penny Loggins of the Danger Zone. Another OG, Rob Silverman. Not the Jizza, but the Bizza. X-Force V, one of our mods. Hi X-Force V, who rhymes with Skippy G. Tommy Nyquist, Snap Judgments League 1 season champion. The King of Bros, bro. Black Dahlia, hello Black Dahlia. The Great Kazoo, one of my favorite names in these every day. Jessica Gamble, Ryan Wood, and Kevsey Hoda, 3 of our newer friends. Kevsey Hoda, low collection level, hit infinite. Luna Chris, who's been hanging out in our Discord lately. Louis Antunez, my former student, who gave me a call earlier that I missed. Hey, Louis. Models, Mod Supreme. The great Darth Tater, phenomenal player. Nemes Etala, who I do my best with the name of. I love Nema. Really, really kind. Brian Kaufman and Tristan H. Martin. Hi, Brian. Hi, Tristan. The Fuzzy Dunlop of The Wire fame. Spectrumix. Hello. Hoot. Matt H. Hi, Matt. DJ Mikey Hijinks. No Frickin' Flex. Ocularis. Hi, Ocularis. Greg Sterry. Thank you for the comments. Every day, Greg. Pretty frickin' chill. Seamus, who's been watching on time. He's spoiling me. Spike Jones, a.k.a. Jonesy on YouTube. Two Ties, whose deck got made infinite this season and hits 70% with every damn idiot deck we make. The Pirate King Tuccrr, who you saw a exclusive card from earlier. The Homie Min. Love you, Min. Hope you're doing well. And of course, Gunny T, where the T stands for, if you missed it, the giveaway thing was at the end of me announcing giveaway winners. So don't miss it. Make sure you try out your giveaway. We'll see you tomorrow with another Snap Take. Infinite Conquest decks, Sasquatch takes from top players. We are on it. We've got the best content for you. We'll have at least 3 decks for you like we do every day. Peace.